Katt Williams never had it easy. After being emancipated from his parents at 13, Williams had to hustle as a street vendor to become the dynamo comedian that we know today. He's evidence that hard work, drive, and luck can completely flip a person's circumstances. Being one of the most hilarious storytellers to grab a mic doesn't hurt either. Comedian and Emmy-winning actor Katt Williams rarely minces his words in the public eye. Since rising to fame in the early 2000s, Katt has unabashedly shared his hot takes on the state of comedy and the lack of appreciation he feels he receives from the industry. Katt's hot takes, which he always delivers in his distinguishable voice and cadence.
This nigga is a professional. We was doing the Tracy Morgan show. He did an episode. The nigga said, Katt,
are among the many things his fans recognize him for. Fans also identify the comedian with his various roles as a pimp in films such as Friday After Next, The Boondocks, and his stand-up specials. Due to Katt's seamless approach to portraying a pimp on film, some fans are convinced he may have been one in real life. But is that true? Here's the tea on Katt Williams' ties to the pimp community. Katt Williams opened up about being a pimp at 17. Katt's career seemingly happened overnight. In 2002, he made his film debut as Money Mike in Friday After Next, where he played a money-hungry pimp who befriended Ice Cube's character, Craig. Katt's role as Money Mike resulted in his pimp persona, which he displayed in his comedy specials, The Pimp Chronicles and It's Pimpin' Pimpin'. More notably, Katt lent his voice to the role of a pimp named Slickback on The Boondocks. After growing up as a gifted student in Cincinnati, Ohio, Katt eventually left his city for a career in Hollywood. However, his road to stardom wasn't easy, as he found himself homeless and struggling to find means to support himself. Eventually, Katt turned to the streets and admitted to pimping as a means to survive. In November 2022, YouTube account Inappropriate Shorts posted a clip from one of Katt's radio interviews. The account didn't share where Katt's interview occurred, but he briefly discussed his time as a pimp when he was 17. During the interview, Katt claimed he was selling door-to-door when he stumbled upon a house in the neighborhood. The house had 5 women in it, who Katt said were sex workers. The comedian said the women were sobbing uncontrollably because they had witnessed their former pimp be shot to death in the house before Katt arrived. Fearing for their lives, Katt said the women turned to him for the next steps. "I said if you can tell me what to do, I'll do it," the comedian said in his interview. Katt added that he didn't get into pimping for the money, stating he was only adapting to the situation I was put in. He also didn't share how long he was the women's pimp, though he declared in the interview that those 5 women made Katt Williams. Katt Williams said he turned down pimp roles once he realized he was being pigeonholed to playing one. While Katt was technically a pimp at one point in his life, he has since left the lifestyle on the stage. Despite his past run-ins with the law, the comedian has no record of soliciting anyone as a public figure. The comedian also hasn't played a pimp or mentioned the profession in his comedy since the early aughts. In a 2015 interview with the Virginia Pilot, Katt said he began turning down roles where he played a pimp because it no longer aligned with his trajectory as an actor and comedian. When he became famous for his portrayal, Katt said he wanted to avoid becoming a gimmick. "It's the reason I can be the pimp comedian, and 17 years later, I haven't told a joke about putting a woman on the street because it was never about that," Katt said. "It was about being way different than the norm. I was fortunate that I didn't have to gimmick it. Being stereotyped or pigeonholed is likely to happen anytime you do something well," Katt shared. "In the next 5 or 6 years, when I'd get all these pimp roles, I had to turn them down because I didn't want to be stuck anywhere. I was trying to be the best comedian I could be, and to make sure I kept the connection with my fan base. I thought the clearest way to do that was to stay as real, steady, and honest as possible." While Katt isn't too involved in the pimp life on or off camera, fans will always appreciate his accurate and hilarious portrayal of them. As of late, Sharps Club Shay Shay has been at the top of trending news due to an explosive interview with the iconic Katt Williams. The sit-down would prove to be quite eye-opening and brutally candid. The comedian-actor unleashed a brutal assault against what Katt called lies that his fellow comedians continue to tell. Setting the record straight, the legendary comic went in on several legends of comedy. Nobody was safe. Katt named names. He went in on everyone from Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, Kevin Hart, Chris Tucker, Cedric the Entertainer, Earthquake, and on and on. Seeing is believing. Here are some of the best jokes and moments of Katt Williams. On the death of Steve Irwin, Crocodile Hunter was the shit. He wasn't scared of shit. If you don't think he ain't gangsta, go to your neighbor's house and jump on their Rottweilers and see how that work out for you. On messing up someone's self-esteem. You messed up my self-esteem. Bitch, it's called self-esteem. It's the esteem of your motherfucking self. How did I fuck up how you feel about you? As a pimp named Slickback. In one of his most recognized roles, Williams got a voiceover gig in the Boondocks animated series as a pimp named Slickback. No, that's not a typo. On weed. It ain't no motherfucking drug. I've done the research. It's just a plant. It just grows like that. And if you just happen to set it on fire, there are some effects. On self-driving cars. I'm thinking of buying me a self-driving car. I'm going to be in the back seat. You pull me over. I have no idea what to tell you. Talk to the driver. God versus atheists. Atheists have got out of hand. Now they want to tell us what the fuck we believe. Oh, you believe in God, so that means you don't believe in science. What the fuck is you talking about? Motherfucker, I prayed to God before every science test. On January 3rd, the internet was stopped in its tracks by precisely this, as Williams sat down for a nearly 3-hour tour de force interview with ESPN First Take correspondent Shannon Sharpe on his podcast Club Shay Shay. The reason I had to come is because you've made a safe place for the truth to be told, Williams said at the top of the interview. And I have watched all of these lowbrow comedians come here and disrespect you in your face and tell you straight up lies. Was he there to set the record straight? Sharpe asked in reply. Apparently so. Over the course of the interview, Williams makes outrageous claims. He said Harvey Weinstein offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency. Airs personal grievances with a half-dozen or so comedians, such as Cedric the Entertainer, who allegedly stole one of his jokes, and Michael Blackson, a comedian who doesn't get booed enough, goes deep on the production of Friday After Next, and dismisses rumors about his personal life. He may not always be the most reliable narrator, and there are moments, like when he refers to Kim Kardashian as a whore or fixates too much on which male comedians have worn dresses in movies, that will raise eyebrows. But this is very much a strap in and enjoy the ride situation. Before the interview even finished premiering on YouTube, it began going viral on Twitter, inspiring memes, jokes, and fact-checking, provoking responses from some of Williams' targets, sparking discourse about how young black comedians rarely get the exposure these older black comedians continue to get, and much more. To get the full effect, one must watch the podcast episode in full, but below is a brief selection of its various highlights, flagrant accusations, and possible libel.